It's the E-Commerce Minute, your daily dose of e-commerce, tech, and retail news with your hosts, Bart Mraz and John Suter. The E-Commerce Minute is a production of Sumo Heavy, a digital commerce consulting firm in Brooklyn, New York, and Philadelphia. Find us on the web at sumoheavy.com. It's E-Commerce Minute, episode 361.
In today's episode, T-Mobile lets students redesign a part of its website.
According to a recent report on CNBC, T-Mobile wanted to gain insight on how visitors were using their website. They wanted to know what type of customers were there, and were they researching plans or devices? Alternatively, were the potential new customers who owned a device just looking to switch networks? So they asked university teams to help. The task was part of a partnership with Adobe's annual Analytics Challenge, where teams of students compete to win a $35,000 prize, as well as potential employment. Since 2005, MGM Resorts International, Sony PlayStation, Starwood, and Lenovo are some of the companies that have run challenges, with entrants given access to Adobe's technology to solve live business problems. The winning team from the University of Utah focused on streamlining the digital experience with T-Mobile and presented a simplified version of the online path a potential customer might take. Implementing these improvements would bring T-Mobile an extra $8.1 million in revenue. T-Mobile's Vice President for Digital Journeys, Giles Richardson, said, "Sometimes it takes an external fresh pair of eyes to say, this is really hard to find. Watching the students' presentations wasn't always an easy experience, and it was a little bit of a dentist chair experience sitting through 6 finalist teams run through how terrible they felt our website was." Dentist chair experience. I love it. The students also pointed out that T-Mobile needed to reevaluate the importance of store visits and customer service calls. They did this by real-world testing, calling the service numbers, and mystery shopping in the stores. Richardson will fly 20 semifinalists from the challenge to the T-Mobile headquarters for introductions. The company intends to hire 10 of those people. This is pretty cool. I think more companies need to do this.
Yeah, including us. That'd be really fun if they did that.
So Adobe sponsors this. They give a $35,000 prize plus employment. So that's a nice big carrot there. I'm sure there's plenty of students who are willing to give up. It doesn't say how long this test takes. I'm sure it took a few months. If anything, if it's part of a curriculum, it's certainly a great learning experience, learning about user experience and customer experience and all that kind of usability stuff. I think it's really, as someone who wants to get into this field of user experience, it's a great challenge, especially, like I said, that big carrot hanging out. And these guys really, I mean, they pointed out some really great things. So if they made these improvements, the students calculated that it would be 8.1 in extra revenue. That's not crumbs on the table.
No, absolutely it's not. I mean, it's also like for the students, think about it. It's like, imagine being a student going to a job, go, yeah, I redesigned, half of T-Mobile's website.
Yeah, or T-Mobile says here that they're going to fly 20 semifinalists and the company's going to hire 10 of them. So you're already, you get 50-50 shot of getting hired by T-Mobile. That's pretty huge. I mean, if you're just getting out of school. So I don't know what the University of Utah is like. I don't know if it's a design school or if it just is a design program. That's pretty great. And Adobe, like we said, Adobe's getting more. Adobe's always been into, obviously, design and visual experience and things like that. And they're really focusing their business around data now. They're competing against Salesforce and others. And I think what they're trying to do is integrate. Be more like a growth hacker where you're integrating more data with design instead of just thinking what looks pretty. It's what looks pretty, but why does it work?
I mean, between all the purchases they've done lately, between data and marketing and things like that, they kind of have to they do have a full analytics platform that they're working with. And that's a biggie. Plus they actually have that design or creator in residence thing too. So they're doing a lot of educational type of things for people, which is great. It's great for creators, great for young people to get into it and see the field and,
Absolutely. So as I mentioned, they've been doing this since 2005. They've actually hired more than 50 students since the contest began.
Nice.
So it's a really great thing for students. In fact, in one of the articles that says, in the article, it mentions a guy named Nate Smith, who's now a group manager for product marketing for Adobe Analytics. He entered the contest in 2009. He helped Overstock.com optimize its online marketing budget, and he got a job out of it. And one of his recommendations was to pivot their spending from Google to Yahoo, and they saw an average order value from Google to Yahoo users went up $13 just on an average order value basis, just using data. How about that? So good for him and good for these students.
Good for them.
Good for them. Pretty cool. We'll link to the article from CNBC where we found this awesome story at on our website at ecommerceminute.co. But do you have anything else?
That's it, my friend.
All right. That's your e-commerce minute for today. We'll see you on the internet tomorrow. That's it for today's show. If you like the show, do us a favor and subscribe or leave us a review on iTunes. And don't forget, you can now listen to the e-commerce minute on your Amazon device. Just add e-commerce minute to your flash briefing. And finally, if you have a comment or suggestion or just want to say hi, find us on social media at Sumo Heavy.